So I could just be a total butthead and say, well, I made a video about NVIDIA's SLI, so go watch that. This is the same, except your card's from AMD, and we call it Crossfire. But that would be lazy, and we strive for maximum professionalisticality around here. And truthfully, it's not that simple anyway. There are some critical differences between SLI and Crossfire that I believe demonstrate a fundamental difference in philosophy between AMD and NVIDIA. But first, the basics. Both technologies are pretty much a way to utilize more than one graphics card working in tandem in your PC to achieve next-gen class performance that wouldn't otherwise be available with the current technology due to power, thermal, or other limitations. Think of it kind of like if you could buy two Xbox Ones, bolt them together, and actually run your games at 1080p. Ha! Burn! Anyway, they both work with anywhere from 2 to 3 or even 4 compatible cards in one system and perform their best at high resolutions with graphically demanding games. They also both dramatically increase the power consumption and heat output of your computer system without having a proportional impact on the performance you'll get in games. In fact, another thing they share in common is that if the game doesn't have a profile implemented, they may not improve performance at all. But with that said, if you're looking for an experience that simply isn't available today by other means, like buttersmooth 4K or 1080p surround gaming, then you're likely one of the folks that this solution was designed for. All right. So a moment ago, I mentioned compatible cards. This is differentiation point number 1 for AMD. While NVIDIA allows mix and matching of vendors and clock speeds, you can SLI an EVGA reference card with an ASUS overclocked one, they require you to use exactly the same graphics processor with the same memory configuration. AMD, on the other hand, it's pretty loosey-goosey. You can mix vendors, clock speeds, RAM amounts, and even the graphics processor, as long as the cards are within the same architectural family. So for example, a 7970 3GB card can crossfire with a 7950 with 3GB, or even an R9 280X with 6GB of RAM, because they're all based on that same GPU. Differentiation point number 2 for AMD is cost. NVIDIA requires SLI certification for your cards to recognize your system as compatible and activate their Wonder Twin powers. For that, NVIDIA requires the qualifying PCI Express slots to run at 8x minimum, even though these days a 4x PCIe Gen 3 slot is plenty for pretty much any graphics card, and they require the board manufacturer to pay a licensing fee. You can find AMD Crossfire compatibility on product pages for like business class boards. Basically, anything goes as long as it's got a couple of PCI Express 16x physical slots. Differentiation point number 3 is something that's actually still a work in progress for AMD. Since the beginning of dual GPU solutions with Voodoo SLI, there's been some kind of connector attaching the cards. With AMD R9 290 series cards, and presumably future ones as well, all communication between the cards is done over the PCI Express bus. It's a higher bandwidth, cleaner looking solution to the problem of how these cards can sync data with each other at high speed when they're working together. Finally, differentiation point number 4 is that AMD allows their cards, their low-end cards, to run in Crossfire with the onboard graphics of their APUs, which are CPUs that have strong onboard graphics components. Although this solution still needs some work to be something that I'd really recommend. And I guess that's it. I guess that's the philosophical difference between AMD and NVIDIA. NVIDIA locks things down, which gives them tighter control over the consistency of the user's experience, but AMD offers more flexibility and choice. Even if some of these options aren't the best thing ever, at least you can pick them. Speaking of things that aren't the best thing ever, searching for royalty-free images and videos to use in your projects. We used to waste a ton of time trying to find images with the correct usage rights for videos just like this one, and Shutterstock.com ended up being a fantastic solution for us. It's easy to use, just go over to their site and search their entire catalog of over 30 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips without even making an account, and it's relatively inexpensive. Once you find something you like, you can sign up for a monthly subscription like what we have, or you can even just pick up individual images whenever you need them with bundle discounts available for more frequent users. The images can be sorted with their excellent search tool by tag type and even by color palette if you're looking to create a particular mood. And the best thing about it is that if you sign up, now you can get 25% off a new account by going to Shutterstock.com and using offer code TechQuickie214. Try it out today with the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, guys, and just so you know, I was actually kind of serious at the beginning there. The SLI video I mentioned at the very start of this one has some great information about dual GPU configurations in general, and this one was more meant to augment that one with a focus on the key differences for AMD users. Anyway, like and share this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, leave a comment if you have something to say to me or the rest of the fastest possible team, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to Tech Quickie for more videos just like this one. Or slightly different. We can change if that's what you need.